What's up, guys? This is Josh from Josh Likes Cards, and I'm joined by a very special guest. Sitting to my right is my stepdaughter, Sophia.
Hi.
So we thought we would do something kind of different. You know, Sophia and I have talked a lot about social media usage and YouTube and just making sure that she is safe in a digital world. When I was growing up, we certainly didn't have anything like, instantaneous social medias, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, so on and so forth. I'm dating myself. I don't care. I'm 33. So I'm not that old, but I just grew up in a different time. What's really funny, and we've had a lot of conversations about this, is Sophia and I are actually both members of the millennial generation. I just so happen to be born at the start of it. She was born at the end of it. So it's pretty funny to have some of these conversations and look at the differences between the two of us. But we thought we'd start out with this just initial video is saying hi. We're calling this Loaf and Losh. And the story behind that is my little brother actually was the inspiration for it. When he was young, his name is Jake, he had a problem putting his J's in the right direction. So everything looked like Lake. So then Lake turned into Losh. Somehow Losh turned into Loaf. And Loaf is just stuck.
Yeah, I'm stuck in it.
So we just kind of had, odd family nicknames or whatever. We thought anytime we bring you anything like this, any sort of conversation with the both of us, and we're going to talk about all sorts of weird stuff, I think it'd be kind of fun to call this series Loaf and Losh. So welcome. This is our first video, and we promise to bring you guys fun and varied and weird and odd sorts of conversations, but we want it to be fun. We want it to be meaningful. So leave us a comment, subscribe if you like what we're doing. We'd really appreciate it. But today we're going to talk to you a little bit about what we did this weekend. Florida Supercon. We took a 2-hour ride down to Fort Lauderdale and attended what was Sophia's first convention.
Very first.
And my first convention in years. Now, I've been to Magic the Gathering tournaments. I went to Las Vegas in 2013 and 2015 for the Modern Masters. And I mean, I was in the room with 10,000 people. And those were just purely insane events, and everybody was there to do one thing. But the conventions, you have 50,000 people that'll come through in a weekend doing, 100 different things. So we saw actors and actresses, voice actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. We saw cosplayers. We saw vendors. We saw wrestlers. You name it, I think we saw everything.
We saw pretty much everything.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about what we saw this weekend. To give you a little bit more background about myself, like I said, I'm 33. I'm a huge nerd. I have a monstrous Transformers collection. Our friend the Stormtrooper is joining us right over here in the middle because, frankly, that's just one of the nerdy things that you can't see in this room. There's a whole cabinet to my right that's got magic cards and Transformers and everything, and I don't know if you can see above Sophia's bun there. You've got a really nice print of Miss Futaba Sakura herself, which I got a chance to meet Erica Lindbeck, which was pretty cool. Above this computer that we're recording on, I've got autographed pictures of Anthony Daniels, famous for playing C-3PO in the Star Wars movies. I've got David Prowse, who played the body of Darth Vader, and then I've got 2 really nice paintings of R2-D2 and C-3PO. So this is a nerd cave. Sophia has officially entered Thunderdome. I don't even think she knows what that means.
I don't.
There you go. So that's just a prime example. But we wanted this to be fun and talk a little bit about our experience. So, Sophia, what did you think of your first convention?
It was really great.
Yeah?
It was definitely an experience. It was kind of overwhelming at first, but I warmed up to it and I kind of opened myself to looking at new things and trying new things. At first, I was kind of standoffish, like, I don't really know how I feel about this, but as we started walking around, I saw some things that I could relate to, some things that I knew, some people I knew, so I was okay, and I really liked it, and I definitely think that this will not be my last convention. This will be a start of a new convention.
You're not just saying that?
No, I'm not just saying that.
Okay, good. As far as the people that were there at the convention, this was pretty cool. So I've never been to Florida Supercon before. I mean, I've been to MegaCon, and almost went to one that was over in Tampa Bay. Oddly enough, Tampa Bay was actually going on this weekend as well. It's really strange. Florida tends to get conventions intermittently. They don't usually get them back-to-back or on the same weekend, but Tampa was going on the same time as this one. It just so happens that this one wasn't across the state. It was just further south, so we went there instead. Wrestlers, Jerry the King Lawler. I think Sting was there. Ric Flair was there. Voice actors and actresses. You remember the guy? Who did you see? Voice actors and actresses?
Steven Universe.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo. Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Who else did we see? The Walking Dead character.
Chandler Riggs played Carl.
Carl.
And then, for the life of me, I can't remember their names, but the guys who played Abraham and Eugene, they were there. I remember the Power Rangers. You had Jason David
Pink
Frank.
Power Ranger.
And Amy Jo Johnson, Pink Power Ranger. Yeah, that's right.
And even the lady who plays the voice of her in Persona 5, she actually plays Barbie's Life in the Dream House series. So she's the voice of Barbie.
And she's also, this one was really neat. IMDb tells you everything, right? She is Dr. Jane Foster in the current Avengers animated series, which was originally Natalie Portman in the Thor movies. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, she's done a ton of voices, and I think she's even voicing a character in Transformers. She was Maggie Lou in Tales of Berseria also, for those PS4 gamers out there. But definitely a lot of varied people. As a toy collector, I noticed that the toys were few and far between at this convention. I saw a handful of Transformers that were wildly overpriced. What do you remember about the vendors?
My favorite part about the vendors was definitely seeing different stuff. There would be one vendor selling T-shirts. I remember there was the Nintendo mystery boxes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw those. They would have $19.99. You would just buy this Nintendo box, and you didn't know what you were getting in it. It was just a mystery box. So you open it, and every box is different. I thought that was really cool because not everybody will have the same thing.
Yeah.
However, a lot of the boxes did sell out pretty quickly, though.
It was pretty neat.
That was neat.
You know, something else I noticed, and I don't know if you saw the same thing, pop figures were everywhere.
Everywhere. There was thousands in the room.
Like, I mean, I've got a handful over there in the case. I mean, I'm by a handful. I literally have 3. I think it's Jace, it's Liliana, and...
No.
Tezzeret? I think it's Tezzeret. We'll go with it.
Yeah, Mommy bought you that one.
And I've got Nicol Bolas floating around here somewhere. But, you know, I'm not a big pop collector fan. But there was one vendor, I'm not kidding, who probably had 500 of them. All sorts of different kinds. And I'm sure there's rarities and there, you know, this exclusive and that exclusive. When pop grew to be what it was and I started seeing them at Walgreens and that Walgreens had exclusive pop figures, that's when I'm like, we're good. I'm out on this one. You know, what else did you see that you thought was pretty cool from the vendors?
Another thing that I saw was definitely the K-pop stand. I don't listen to K-pop, but my mom has some friends
K-pop's
that do.
Huge.
And apparently it's very big. I've heard of it before, but I don't listen to it. Just seeing, like, the singers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing them. That's pretty cool. That was pretty cool to see. And another thing was a lot of the cosplay.
Yeah.
Where they had these people that were actually dressed up as, what's the lady from Guardians of the Galaxy? The green girl.
Gamora?
Gamora. They had Gamora, and then they had the guy who... The guy. I forgot his name.
Star-Lord.
They had them there, and they were taking pictures, and they had a little dancing Groot there, and it was cute. It was really cool, and they even had, like, the whole the background and music playing, and they even had the little raccoon guy there, too. Rocket. They had a little statue of him, and people were like, can I take a picture? And sure, come right in. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, the costumes there were definitely really interesting, and there were a handful that stood out to me. There were a couple of folks. I'm really big into Persona 5 right now. It's a game I've been playing. I have just over 90 hours into Persona 5 right now, which is unreal. That was just after finishing Mass Effect Andromeda, so I've devoted a lot of time to gaming here recently. I love Persona 5. It's been so great. And I was actually pretty upset that I only found one vendor that had anything even mildly Persona related, and it was a Japanese 20th release. They wanted almost $200 for a Japanese region-locked PlayStation 20th anniversary, whatever the hell. No thank you. I did find a couple things for Sword Art Online, which is another anime I've watched recently. You know, it was interesting. I didn't honestly spend as much money as I thought I would have. The most expensive thing I got was what's sitting in the frame right back there. That print was $20. Thank you again, Erica Lindbeck. But, you know, the vendors were really interesting. I feel like if we would have gone to a bigger convention, we would have seen different vendors, bigger vendors.
Gotten a little bit more things.
Yeah. We're just, you know, different setup, different stuff. But this was fun. I think this was great for a first convention.
I definitely enjoyed it. I would go back to another one in a heartbeat. So.
See, that's so funny for me to hear because, you know, conventions for me I didn't start going to until I was an adult. If I would have asked my parents when I was a kid, hey, Mom, Dad, take me to a comic book convention, they would have looked at me like I was crazy. No. And then my dad would have put a football in my hands and told me to go outside because that was just what he did. But, you know, I've been able to celebrate nerd culture. I've been able to celebrate nerddom because apparently it's cool now. And when, you know, you can talk to somebody about Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's so funny, even though she doesn't know their names.
Nope.
She's seen the movies.
Seen the movie.
But if I asked her to read Guardians of the Galaxy as a comic book or something like that, she'd probably stare at me funny.
It's not happening.
So there you go. There you go. Same as if I probably asked her to sit down and watch, the Fate anime series or One Punch Man or anything like that.
I might watch an episode, but you'll catch me falling asleep on the couch.
That has actually happened. That is strangely accurate. But this was fun. Our first convention together as a family. My wife and I have gone independently. I've gone to whatever stuff, and then we just drug her along too. And I even asked her beforehand, do you want to go? And you were hesitant.
Yeah, I really was. But I said yes, because I thought it would be a cool experience. It'd be something new, something different, and we're definitely creating memories. So now I can't say I've never been to a Supercon or FloridaCon, so now I have something to put on.
There you go. So, would you go back?
Definitely.
Would you want to go to a different convention, bigger convention, or would you want to do that one again?
No, I'd probably want to try MegaCon.
Okay.
But you did say it gets really crowded in there.
Terribly crowded, especially on a Saturday.
So I don't know if I'd want to go on a Saturday, maybe on a not so busy day, but I would definitely go to MegaCon. South Florida Supercon, that was good to start off with.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gives you an overlook, okay, this is what you're getting yourself into. MegaCon, I feel like, is for you, and you're like, gotta go, gotta get this, gotta get that. So. Yeah,
I was surprised at a lot of the folks that were there, and the things that I was trying to find. I went to every vendor and I asked them for 4 different issues on comics. I'm a huge Cable fan. You guys know Cable and Deadpool, or Deadpool 2 is coming out with Cable in it. I guess is the best way to phrase that. But Josh Brolin is going to be playing Cable. I hope like hell he does a good job, because Cable has been my favorite comic book character since I was a kid. I really, really hope they do well, but I was looking for any sort of graded copies. It was very specific on graded. CGC copies of Uncanny 201, which was first Baby Cable. I was looking for graded copies of Blood and Metal, which I know is not a really big issue. It's not an expensive issue, but it's one of those first appearance of Cable kind of things. New Mutants 87 was another one. New Mutants 98, so first adult Cable, and then first Deadpool. That first Deadpool issue is starting to go up quite a bit since the movie came out. I mean, I saw ungraded copies for about $300. So that was pretty crazy. And then, oddly enough, in an issue that I don't have, I have almost the entire run of the original Volume 1 of X-Force, 120-something issues. I am missing number 8. That's the first Domino. And they confirm that Domino will, in fact, be in this next Deadpool movie. So, trying to pick those issues up before they really get crazy expensive, but I do not have any of those issues. And I didn't leave with any of them. So the comic book vendors who were there were mildly disappointing. I wasn't going to pay $300 for that comic, especially when half of them look like garbage. So that was our first convention experience. We wanted to bring you a brief video and just kind of talk about something fun that we did together. We promised to bring you varied content, frequent videos, all kinds of weird stuff. If there's something that you guys want to see or want us to talk about, or anime that you want us to review, or anything like that, or topics, this is going to be fun. We're going to make this as fun as we can. If you guys like what we're doing, we'd love it if you would subscribe. I am on Instagram. I am on Twitter at Josh Likes Cards. If you guys do anything on Magic Online, you can find me at Josh Likes Cards on there as well. I try and keep it similar. She's not on social media, but if you have a question for Sophia, feel free to ask. But we thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we will talk to you very, very soon. Take care.